Okay, thank you. So, my name is Andre. I'm CMO and CBDO at STON.fi. Thank you for joining us today. Actually, we had 400, I think, 400 registrations, but not everybody came. So you are lucky because you'll get the merch and hardware wallets and everything. So, like, it is like a double thank you. Thank you. And I'll be talking, I'll have a short presentation about STON.fi, about what we're doing and so on. So STON.fi, as you know, or as you probably know, but you should, is the largest DEX on TON, on the TON blockchain. And how's that? Okay. Yep, it doesn't show everything. Okay, no problem. So we have two core products. The first one is the DEX, and well, usually we say swap application. You can hear how we call it a swap application and a swap protocol, but usually you call such products a DEX. So it is a decentralized exchange. And also the second product is called OmniSTON. It's a liquidity aggregation protocol, again, built for the TON blockchain, and I'll show you some details later. Speaking about our market, about our traction and so on, you can see some numbers on this slide. So you can see that percent of all TON DEX traders, they use our product, and from 50 to 70% of all TON DEX's trading volume goes through STON.fi. So that's the proof that we are the largest DEX. You can check that on Dune and other analytics dashboards. So lots of applications on TON. Dozens. They are integrated with, or we are integrated with them, or they are integrated with us, because we have, like I would say, multiple value propositions. The first one is the application that you can use as a user, so that's a consumer-facing application. And also we have protocols which can be integrated by other apps. So these could be wallets, these could be exchanges, other exchanges, launchpads, and so on. So if you are building any kind of an application for TON blockchain, for TON blockchain currently, you can use our product. If you want to enable swaps or maybe some other DeFi features in your product. So how can I get back? In the, of course, we have lots of, we have dozens. So some logos are over here. The biggest ones are Wallet and Telegram, of course. We have celebrities over here. We have Arena from Wallet. Thank you for joining us. It's like, I'm sure you know Wallet and Telegram. So you can actually use a wallet in your favorite messenger app, and I believe that for everyone, the most favorite messenger app is what? It is Telegram, right? Of course, we work with TonKeeper, which is the biggest mobile app for TON. We are integrated, and swaps in TonKeeper, and by the way, in Wallet and Telegram are also powered by STON.fi, and some other logos over here. And yeah, speaking about our app, so it is more or less basic in terms of it works how you think of a DEX. So we have all the basic features. So these are swaps. There is liquidity provision. There is farming and staking. So I'm sure that if you work with DEXs, you know how it works, and it is, I would say, pretty much understandable for you. But the best part of our proposition is OmniSTON, which is a liquidity aggregation protocol. And what we saw that liquidity was fragmented, meaning that there are multiple liquidity sources and there are multiple applications. So if applications want to get access to liquidity, they have to have multiple integrations with all these liquidity sources, because liquidity is fragmented, meaning that it is distributed across multiple liquidity venues. And if you want to provide your users with the best prices, you need to get access to all the liquidity, which is impossible because you need to have multiple integrations with all the liquidity sources. And it is the problem for apps and developers, because developers want to get access to liquidity, but liquidity wants to get access to these apps and their users. And again, it means that they have to have multiple integrations. So that was the problem. We saw that, and we fixed that with our protocol. So now it means that liquidity providers, market makers, and everyone who has access to liquidity or has their own liquidity, they can connect to OmniSTON, and apps, on the other hand, can connect to OmniSTON and get access to this liquidity. So this is how the problem of these fragmented liquidity is solved by us, and it is a working product, so we can use it now, and multiple, like dozens of applications use it now, including all these biggest wallets. As for the benefits, yes, so first of all, liquidity is, in this case, it is not fragmented anymore, meaning that your users, if you have an app and you have users and you want to have, let's say, swaps, in this case, your users get the best prices because OmniSTON finds the best route, and it provides access to all the possible liquidity sources on time, which means the best prices. And the best part, if you are integrating it, it is now much easier to get access to these users or to this liquidity, because now you can integrate with just one protocol, and this can be done in a couple of days. So it is a use case, so one of the examples. You can see wallets in Telegram over here. So when users want to swap a token, they press exchange, and then you can see that they can. It is a native integration, meaning that there is just a form. They can fill it in, and they can swap their tokens right inside the wallet. In this case, this the wallet in Telegram, but again, it works in different wallets, and it is more or less the same. Also, this is the feature that we launched maybe like a couple of weeks ago. So we call it cross-DEX swaps, meaning that you can see a user wants to trade their TON to not coin. It is just an example, just to show you an illustration. And in this case, so OmniSTON, our protocol, it finds the best route to find the best price. And the best part is that it can combine liquidity from different sources. So you can see there is STON.fi V1, which is our pool, but also there is DDust, which is another DEX on TON blockchain. And OmniSTON finds, I would say, route which includes different or uses different liquidity pools, not only STON.fi, but DDust as well in this case. And also, it can make a swap through a third token. So let's say there is token A, but a user wants to trade it for token B. And OmniSTON, sometimes you can get a better price if you first swap token A to token C, and then token C to token B. But a user will never do that, because it's just like it is messy, right? So you need to check all the DEXs, all the liquidity pools, and then you need to find a way like swap this to this and this to that, and so on. Most users never do that. So OmniSTON does that, and in the end, it means the best prices for your users if you are an app developer. And if you are a liquidity provider, it means that your liquidity is used, meaning that you can capitalize on that. We also have a grant program, so if you are developing any kind of an app for TON, we have Ethan over here. Ethan is leading our grant program, so you can approach him. So we provide grants, we provide support, we provide everything, and I would say that it is, you should do that if you want to build anything for TON. In terms of the numbers, you can see that over here, so we have lots of applications, we have lots of completed grants, but not all of them, because I guess there are some terms and, well, you need to build. But if you do that, we're happy to provide our support and grants to help you build what you want to build. Please follow this link. This is the link to OmniSTON description of our protocol, and you can find all other links over there. And I think that's it. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, please ask now or later. I'm here.